Just a quick one, guys, before we get into today's video. We have released our July drop. We have the Liverpool Originals t-shirts, along with the We've Conquered All of Europe t-shirts. Do browse the new collection by going down into the link in the description or going to copyclothing.com. Anyway, let's get into today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, you know the drill by now. It's trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of July, and we can't get there without your help. So if you haven't already hit the big red button, please consider doing so. And in return, of course, we'll keep you on the straight and narrow of everything in regards to Liverpool Football Club this summer. And remember, it is completely free. Guys, in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We have got a major Liverpool transfer update, as we are going to be answering some questions and debunking some myths with regards to this summer and going into next season via famous journalist David Lynch, or famous Liverpool journalist David Lynch. This is coming from This Is Anfield, so I do want to give credit to them. They're a sort of website that do document Liverpool Football Club very, very well. I've read a lot of their articles and do a fantastic job, so do check their website out. And basically, this interview is in text via their sort of website, so let me bring it to life, bring you to the video and go through the questions that were firstly asked and then answered. So yeah, we'll go through that in this system. As I said, David Lynch is a well-respected Liverpool journalist with regards to the space. He was an official Liverpool Football Club journalist prior, and of course has worked for other operations like the Sunday Mirror, the Evening Standard, and all of the rest of it. So questions were sent in via This Is Anfield, and there is some tasty ones that I'm going to pick out and see what David has basically said with regards to them, which has stuff to do with sort of transfer news, if Liverpool need to sort of sell a player to make a player, if they're going to be going in for Lavia, just all the rest of it, just all the questions surrounding Liverpool at the time of recording. So let's get straight into the first one. And the first question that was asked was with regards to Mo Salah. There was a lot of reports speculating and saying that Mo Salah has a broken toe, but that basically myth has been debunked. And yes, he doesn't have a broken toe, and Mo Salah is fine. The second question was with regards to Thiago. The question was, is Thiago likely to be sold? If so, for what sort of fee? David said, at this moment, it's impossible to say how this is going to play out. Liverpool are aware of interest in Thiago, but they are yet to receive a bid for him, and if nothing changes on that front, then he's certain to stay. The big question is whether the Spaniard receives an offer, and that is truly happy with. We don't know if he's willing to make that move to Saudi Arabia, for example. Should he eventually move, then the fee will be dictated by whether it is to a Saudi club, which with huge cash reserves, or whether it is to a club like Fenerbahce, who would likely be unable to pay a particular huge sum. Of course, getting Thiago's wages off the books would be a factor in any financial decision Liverpool make. So that's with regards to Thiago. A lot of noise around him at the moment. The next one is with regards to Romeo Lavia, of course a player that's been heavily linked to the football club over the last couple of days and weeks since the announcement of Dominik Szoboszlai. And basically the question that was asked to David was, is there any update regarding Romeo Lavia's situation? And basically David said, nothing happening at the moment on that, unfortunately. Liverpool really like the player and have done their homework in terms of what it would take to get him to Anfield, but they're considering a bid rather than pushing forward with these ones as things stands today. These things change quickly, though the fact we can expect competition from Arsenal and Chelsea could lead to a very sudden stepping up of interest. The next one, of course, is with regards to this summer's transfers. The question was, how many more signings do you anticipate Liverpool making before the end of the transfer window? And what other positions do you think they'll make up? Are there any positions you feel Liverpool need to reinforce that has been spoken about? David's reply was, it's a fool's game to make any concrete predictions about what Liverpool will do in the transfer market, because as we've seen time and time again, if they can't get the players they want for the fees they're comfortable with, then they're happy enough to not make the move at all. That said, I'm hopeful that there will be two further additions, one in central midfield and another one in defence. We might need some movement in terms of outgoing to get an additional midfielder, but it's telling that Liverpool are still keeping tabs on Lavia even after adding Szoboszlai and McAllister. They clearly think that some room might open up and add a pure holding midfielder, and that's definitely a need as far as I'm concerned. As for the defence, there's a sense that there's one that might be dealt with later in the window, but again, it's a big need if you ask me to do something Liverpool are looking into. So there you go. We already kind of knew that Liverpool will likely sign 2 more players, that being a sort of centre-back and a midfielder. The next question was a highly anticipated one after the fallout of yesterday's Athletic report. And basically, the question was, is it true that Liverpool have to sell a midfielder to buy another one? David said, I read the report you're alluding to and didn't quite understand and why there was such a fuss about it. It's not that Liverpool need to sell a midfielder to buy another in a financial sense, but rather that if Klopp is going to be able to assure any new arrival that they'll be heavily involved, he could probably do with opening up some space for them. I get that 3 midfielders left in Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita, but how many minutes did they contribute last season, and how many of Milner's were actually in the central midfield? You'd hope that given their injury records, Szoboszlai and McAllister are going to swallow up a huge chunk of minutes next season, and as things stand, they'll also have Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago, Elliott, Jones and Bajcetic in support. When you put it in like that, you can see how it might make sense for one to move out in order to open up a space for another addition, who would expect a decent chunk of playing time. This is another one. He said, the formation forward towards next season. The question was, what are your thoughts on the system Liverpool play next year? Do you see the coaching staff sticking to with the 3-box-3 employed at the back end of last season, or is a return to the more traditional 4-3-3 on the cards? Also, which youngsters are you most looking forward to watching next season? David said, I can see Liverpool sticking with that system this is the start of the season. Definitely it's worked so well during the running, and Klopp was desperate to keep the momentum up. You'd also say the signings are far good fits, and that shape the links to the left-sided centre-backs makes a lot of sense in that context. In terms of youngsters, I'm really excited to see what a full season of a fit Curtis Jones brings. His injury record led him to being written off by many as such, but a high-quality playing could have a huge impact, even accounting for the signings Liverpool have made in the midfield. That said, I don't want to leave out the likes of Harvey Elliott and Steven Bajcetic, who I think are capable of taking big steps in the years ahead. Trying to find another one quickly. Questions surrounding Henderson as well. Of course, he's been linked with Saudi Arabia. Basically, question was, does David know anything about the club and Klopp's plans around Jordan Henderson? Next season, will he have a role like Milner did last year? David said, I don't think Jordan Henderson will be going into the season accepting he'll only be able to take on the James Milner role, but it's clear that's going to be much stronger competition for positions in the midfield going forward. If Szoboszlai and McAllister do as well as we hope, then it's only natural that the captain's minutes will ultimately be reduced. But then there are so many games and competitions. Henderson surely still has a big part to play at Liverpool if they're going to have a successful campaign. And the last one, I think, is with regards to Gay and other centre-backs. Now, this is one that we've also spoke about on the channel a lot with centre-back options after the club missed out on Mickey van der Ven. But basically, the question was, is there any truth to the reports that we are interested in Gay? If not, where are the links or any serious centre-back links? Basically said, David said, I can't say I've heard anything on Gay personally, but it wouldn't be at all surprised if he was on Liverpool's radar. They're looking to adding to their defence, have a need for homegrown signings, and he is a quality player with room to grow. Maybe it's one to keep an eye on as the summer moves on. We'll definitely try to get this something more concrete to report on this summer. Actually, there's going to be one more question I'm just going to go through after this, but just on that one, it does seem like there isn't much news. Sorry. There isn't much news with regards to the sort of centre-back. We've spoken about that a lot in depth here on the channel. And after that sort of Van der Ven link disappeared, there has really been no other options. Levi Colwill, yes, we've talked about, and Liverpool said they're monitoring the situation. But there is no serious concrete link to a centre-back, despite the club definitely making a centre-back signing this season. Now, the anticipated one as well, of course, is with regards to investment. You know, we've been talking about investment a lot on this channel. Basically, this is what David had to say with the update on the investment situation. David says, I don't get the sense that any announcement is imminent in terms of investment. I know there was previously confidence projected that there would be movement at this time of year, but it's awfully quiet at the moment. And I asked about the rumours of potential investment hailing from Singapore a while back and was given very little encouragement. Of course, it would be bearing in mind that news on this could arrive very suddenly, and it's not transfer-like transaction where the incentives for certain parties to leak information as things progress. It's also important to note that Liverpool should be in a strong enough position to invest heavily in the squad this summer, regardless of the external investment. There is no rush, really. So there you go. There's a bit of an update with regards to the investment as well. But I hope there's some questions asked there from you. I said, again, credit to This Is Anfield, a very, very good publicist. Again, they did the right, fantastic reports, so do check them out. And then David Lynch as well. He is pretty reputable within the Liverpool space. So maybe there's some questions being answered there. But of course, just the sort of ones with the selling of the midfield and stuff like that. I don't think that's necessarily a thing that has to happen. I think Liverpool are in the market for 2 more players, that being a centre-back and a midfielder, and will make a move for Lavia should the price be right. So we'll see what happens, but that's what I get from it, and yeah, very, very interesting information there. My Liverpool fans, do let me know your thoughts. If Liverpool go out and get a centre-back and Romeo Lavia, do you think they'll compete for the title next season? Yes or no? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Remember, we do have Liverpool t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or going to copyclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.